Hello everyone, my name is Wafa and today I am showing you how I modeled Norfolk Burleigh Heads residential building. So I started off by creating three rectangles from one initial rectangle that is controlled by or scaled by a specific domain. I moved one up and the other down. Then I used the area of the initial rectangle and then scaled this rectangle or created this rectangle that is adjustable to scale. Then I filleted the upper rectangle, the middle one and the bottom one using fillet with parameter. I had to use explode tree or bang and region intersection to have these final curves. Then I used boundary surfaces. Then I region unioned the boundary of each rectangle and the rectangle that have been created in the middle. This gives me this final curve that is parametric and is controlled by these sliders, so I can adjust the width. It's a bit slow, as you can see, and I can change also the length, so if I exceed it will also continue. There we go. Then I exploded the curve that I had and extracted the middle points because I need the segments of the curve and the vertices or the points. I used item list to extract the points that I needed to basically manipulate the curve that I want according to the shape that I want. So I used the MD slider to manipulate specific parts of the curve, basically control the curve that I want because the building is kind of figural. So at the end I joined all curves and this is the result. Also the curve now is still parametric. So if I use the MD slider in each part it changes. So this is for this corner. Here I can change this other part over here and so on and so forth for the points. I duplicated the definition twice because I have two different types of curves. So I ended up having basically this surface and this surface. Then I extruded the surfaces I found, or I created, sorry, and then I filleted the edges so I can have this chamfered edge that looks like the building basically. And then I offsetted the previous curve, and then both of them were moved up. So using a series battery, so I can have all the floors of the building. Then I moved the offset to and extruded it to have basically the railing of the balcony. So now we have the slab and the balcony. So for the mass of the building, I used the first three rectangles and I scaled them to intersect with the offset I had, which is this, to have this curve at the end. And then I extruded it so I can have a B-rep or a geometry for my kangaroo definition. So at first I used this curve, shattered it, and then went through a process of dividing and creating vectors to know or to basically anchor some points, and then at the end Here's what happened. Sorry. So here I'm gonna turn the solver, and as you can see, it goes from the shape I want into and shrinks. I tried to invert it so I can have the opposite, but it didn't work. Then when connecting it to the B-rep I had, I end up having the outline I want, and I took the output of this and extruded it so I can have basically the main building, but it has lots of errors. The building has panels, so in order to create that, I started off by selecting the duplicated curves, and using Bang, I selected two curves in sequence, and then lofted them. And then I deconstructed it so I can have the outline of the surface. After that, I used item list to select specific curves that I want, because the panels are in a specific place. So here are the curves that I wanted the panels to be on it. So what I did is move them all down, and then I used tween so I can have these the panels, basically the repetition. It had also a vertical lines, so I created that too. Then I offsetted each curve so I can loft it and have a thickness for the panel, basically. This happened on this side to avoid basically the using item list a lot. I mirrored it, and here I have the final panels. So now with the extrusion and the balcony and the levels, I have all the items.